I've been planning to do this video for a few weeks, but I was not sure exactly what angle to approach for this particular topic. The giant panda is considered a national treasure of China and are only found within the provinces of Sichuan, Gansu and Shaanxi, with more than 70% found in Sichuan Province. One of the biggest success stories to have emerged from China in recent years is that through several programs, mostly based in Sichuan Province, the status of the giant panda has been downgraded by the WWF from endangered to vulnerable. Now, while that is good news in itself, it goes to show that through an integrated program of conservation, there has been a 17% rise in the population of the giant panda. During a census on the population of the species held in 2014, there were found to be 1,864 giant pandas living in the wild in remote areas of Sichuan Province. This video takes a look at some of the outstanding work conducted at these research and conservation centres within the province at bringing China's national animal back from the brink of extinction. Hi, I am John and welcome to my channel, Laowai in China. On this channel, my aim is to inform people that have never visited China what life here is really like, and not as it is often portrayed in Western media. I cover topics such as travel, culture, as well as current affairs, both here and overseas, that reflect the day-to-day life here. Today's video is called, "Is this China's biggest success story?" I hope you like this video, so sit back and enjoy. The giant panda has become one of the world's iconic conservation projects, in addition to being the symbol of the WWF. The recovery of this species shows just what can be achieved when science, political will, and the engagement of local communities work together in saving wildlife, improving biodiversity and local habitats that wildlife depends on for its future. Since 1961, when the WWF became the first international organization to work inside China, the WWF and China have been working together on projects that included creating an integrated network of panda reserves and wildlife corridors that connected isolated populations of pandas. This included working with local communities to develop for those people sustainable livelihoods that minimize the impact on the forests that house that small population of pandas. Those pandas reserves are now responsible for the protection of around 2/3 of all pandas that exist in the wild. One of the most famous of these centres is the Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding, located just outside Chengdu city centre. The panda base covers an area of just over 3 square kilometres and is the world's leading centre for the conservation, scientific research, breeding, scientific education, as well as cultural tourism. As well as being a sanctuary for the giant panda, it also houses the much smaller red panda and other endangered animals within the breathtaking scenery that includes crystal clear streams. The forest paths are serenaded by birdsong, and millions of tourists visit the centre every year. Over more than 30 years, the panda base has adapted to overcome technical problems in feeding and management, reproduction and the rearing of cubs. Other measures include the prevention of diseases and control to establish the world's largest population of captive giant pandas, with more than 230 at the base. There are also more than 160 red pandas resident at the base, the world's largest population of captive red pandas. Chengdu's panda base is regarded as the world's #1 panda institution and has achieved countless awards for its work in protecting and improving the lives of the animals in its care. It is home to the world's first giant panda museum, as well as hosting more than 3,000 events on popularization and education in the past decade alone. The setting of the panda base helps stimulate the natural environment of the giant pandas in the wild, and with the delivery house, feeding area, research laboratory and panda hospital readies the animals for introduction into the wild. There are several panda villas created within the mountains and forests so that pandas of all ages can grow and thrive, with more than 10,000 clumps of bamboo growing on site. The area is set up to stimulate the panda's natural environment in preparation for their eventual release into the wild. Visitors travelling to the Chengdu Panda Base will find the easiest way is to take bus numbers 87, 198, 198A or 655 to Xiongmao Jidu Stop or Chengdu Research Base of Giant Panda Breeding. The cost of entry is 58 RMB, with free entry for children below 1.3 meters in height. The centre is open daily from 7:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. and a highlight of a visit is from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. when the pandas are at their most active during breakfast time. Panda Valley, or its official title, Chengdu Field Research Center for Giant Pandas, is located close to Yutang Town, Dujiangyan City, and near to the sacred Taoist center of Mount Qingcheng, about 50 kilometers from the city of Chengdu. The trees and bamboo offer plenty of shade to the pandas located here within the natural climate, surrounded by streams and more than 700 species of flora and fauna into this natural base for reintroducing pandas into the wild. Panda Valley opened in 2015, and the initial 10 pandas brought here have all been integrated into the wild surroundings. Ya'an Bifangxia Base of China Conservation and Research Center of Giant Pandas is located some 150 kilometers to the southwest of Chengdu and can be reached in a little over an hour by bus. The base consists of two small V-shaped gorges measuring 7 kilometers and 6 kilometers in length, with vertical drops of some 400 meters, and is known for its vegetation and waterfalls. The area attracts visitors hoping to see pandas in their wild environment, surrounded by such natural beauty. Due to the extensive damage incurred at the Wolong Panda Reserve during the Wenchang earthquake of May 2008, more than 50 pandas had to be relocated, and around half of those evacuated were brought to Ya'an Bifangxia, with the remainder being housed in Chengdu, Fuzhou, and Beijing. The good quality air and water of this base means the giant pandas raised here have an excellent chance of growth, not just in health, but in numbers too. There are currently around 60 pandas living here through a comprehensive conservation project that combines tourism and research into the breeding of giant pandas. Just a few weeks after the Wenchang earthquake of 2008, the panda Guagua gave birth to the first set of twin cubs in the base, and the first cubs to have been born in 2008 anywhere in the world. This birth gave hope to all those working at the base that the recovery of the base from an earthquake-stricken area, as during that year of 2008, 13 baby pandas survived and were seen as the future of the base. Some of the older pandas that had been rescued from the Wolong base were returned there after restoration work was completed over a period of 2 to 3 years. The Dujiangyan Panda Base is located about 56 kilometers to the northwest of Chengdu and is officially known as the China Conservation and Research Center for Giant Pandas, Dujiangyan Base. The center is an ideal location for visitors to view an environment of care for animals, disease prevention and control. There are currently 170 giant pandas under the control of this base. Dujiangyan covers an area of over 500,000 square meters and is subdivided into 6 separate zones that include rescue and quarantine, disease prevention and control, recovery and training, reception and education, vegetation and services. A few kilometers from Dujiangyan Panda Base is Dujiangyan Panda Valley, located in Baima village of Yutang Town. This is one of the main bases where giant pandas are housed prior to their being introduced into the wild. This gradual process is to encourage the animals to fully fend for themselves is one of transition until the researchers feel confident in each individual's ability to integrate itself into the wild. The first batch of 6 giant pandas for this program began in January 2012, and these 6 were selected from over 100 pandas to be a part of this revolutionary process. Since that time, more pandas have been selected and housed here in preparation for the big step into living independently within the bamboo forests of Sichuan Province. Prior to the Wenshuang earthquake, the Wolong National Nature Reserve was considered to be the world's leading center for panda research and conservation, with more than 10% of the known population of the creature housed there. It was the acclaimed home of the giant panda. It was first opened in 1963 and achieved UNESCO status as a biosphere reserve in 1980. It was the ideal location due to climate, abundance of bamboo, as well as the living and reproduction of the giant panda. The center also catered for another 56 rare and endangered species, including the red panda, the golden monkey, the white-tipped deer, as well as some precious plants, including the yew and beech. After the devastation of the earthquake, the inhabitants of Wolong were moved to other centers, and a new center was built at Shaanxi in addition to the rebuilding of Wolong. Shaanxi opened to the public in 2016, and the first batch of 74 pandas were housed in 59 colony houses across an area of 371 acres. High-tech is very much in use here in research as the centre strives to become a world leader in the conservation of the panda species, and visitors from around the world are encouraged to virtually adopt pandas through offering them names and providing donations. Unlike in zoos, each of these centres do not keep the pandas in cages. They are housed in natural environments that enables each creature to thrive and for some individuals to return to the wild. That is all for this video. If you have enjoyed watching it and it's shown you a little detail of life here in China, then your subscribing to my channel would mean a lot to me. Thank you for watching. Make sure you click on the link to the next video, and until the next time, goodbye for now.